everyone. This is Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of November 30th through December 6th. So we start this week off really powerfully. We are finalizing this potent month that we've been moving through with an eclipse. And I was chatting about this in the last week's update, that we are already in that energy and we have been in that energy. This particular eclipse falls on November 30th. So depending on where you are in the world, it could fall on the 29th or the 30th. This is a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Gemini. Eclipses are kind of a big deal. They are known for creating swift changes in our life. Maybe some unexpected movement, maybe some closings or endings. Full moon lunar eclipses are always about that culmination. They're always about a completion of something. It's almost like a full moon on steroids. So it gets really amped and the energy of it moves through our life in a way that really sets a new path for us. So it's going to be shining a spotlight in our life of what no longer works for us. And this particular eclipse is a little bit more subtle, so you may find that it's not as jarring as some other eclipse points that you have moved through, where endings and beginnings have felt more dramatic. This is a little bit more soft. So you may find the subtlety of the changes is a little bit more quieter in that way. However, it's still bringing those changes. It's still bringing those shifts for our lives. And this is a focal point on the future shifts for our life that this particular eclipse is symbolizing, and the theme of where we are heading, of what we are creating, and the path that we need to now step on. And this is all about kind of heading toward a new dawn, kind of keeping our eyes on that North Star. Keeping our eyes on the focus of the new potentials of what's truly possible. And this is asking us to kind of break free from maybe a comfort zone or a norm that we have been moving through. And you may already be feeling this in your life, that you're kind of being nudged towards something. Maybe you're being nudged for many months, many years. Maybe this has been a theme that's been kind of an underlying flavor in your life. Just depending on where this eclipse falls, maybe there's something that's been nudging you very subtly or very dramatically towards this shift. Whether that is in your relationships, your business partnerships, whether that is in a location that you're living, whether that is in a career path that you're heading or you would like to head. So all kinds of things can be nudging you for quite some time, and this is really kind of putting a bright light on that very thing that has been nudging you, and it's saying it's time. It's time to move into that. It's time to step away from your comfort zone. It's time now to let yourself move towards that, even if you don't know exactly how that's going to play out. It's asking us to really break free from a cocoon, to break free from the fears or whatever has been kind of clinging to us, or we've been clinging to out of attachment, comfort, and not really stepping up to a new level or being willing to up level. Because when we up level, we know that it can feel kind of jarring at times. It can feel uncomfortable because we don't exactly know what we're doing. If we've never done it before, It can bring about a lot of uncertainty, that discomfort, and the growing pains with it. However, if we don't up level or we don't have that willingness to step into a new way and a new direction, then we stay stagnant. We stay in that plateau of where we currently are. And growth and expansion really invite new lessons, new opportunities, the new chances to meet different people. So all kinds of expressions can come out of that willingness to step into a new way. So if we can keep our sights in alignment with that the willingness to step into this will bring about all of these many different opportunities. So this is a good thing. And it also is really highlighting this theme of the eclipse is very karmic. It feels very soul level. It feels like life purpose calling. That maybe over the course of the last several years, we've been moving through certain lessons and growing pains around this area of life that has primed us for this moment. So maybe reflect upon that area or something that has truly challenged you to the T over the course of the last several years. And that is the particular area of your life that this is nudging you toward that new beginning. So as we come around to this eclipse, you may find that the direction begins to shift in your life. Maybe some new opportunities do present themselves, or you are subtly nudged toward that new direction. However, the path may appear, but the path may appear with some fog surrounding it. And that's the quality of the energy that we will be moving through over the next couple weeks, is that the path is shown, but not all the pieces. We can't quite see further down the line how that's going to look, or some uncertainty around that actual decision feels very, very unclear once we see the path. So this fog may lift, come around the middle of December and towards the end of December as well. So kind of hold on if you're feeling very unclear around how to make your next step, how to move forward in your next decision. We'll get a little bit more clarity come mid to end of next month. And that's just right in alignment with the second eclipse of December, which is the solar eclipse, which is much more potent. And they are always about new beginnings. So kind of perfect timing with the theme of getting more clarity towards that new beginning. And not to jump too far ahead of ourselves, but the second portion of this week is December. We are entering a new month. We are entering the last month of this extremely challenging year. So there is a bit of relief that we may all be feeling because we are finally completing this powerful year. However, we are still in this evolutionary acceleration on the planet. And so 2020 was the beginning of a decade of accelerated amping growth on a planetary level. And not to add any deflation to that completion of this powerful year, but just to know that we will be continuing to move through these growing pains of the acceleration of these evolutionary changes that we're moving through. The next decade is a powerful one where it will have us moving through almost eons of change within 10 years. So that's kind of the heart of what we are moving through. And just to keep that in mind as we do move ahead, as we do step forward into a new year, that we are part of this grander plan. We're part of this greater purpose of this massive shifting on the planet, of an old way receding, an old way crumbling, and a new way birthing, a new way being created. And we are at the forefront of those changes. We're at the forefront of being called to be the creators, to contribute to that entire cycle. So that is why we are being called to these new beginnings. And this is perfectly and divinely aligned that we are having these eclipses at the end of this year to ask us to shed all of the crumbling that we have been through throughout this entire year, all of the pain, the challenge, all that we have moved through emotionally, mentally, energetically, and physically, and all that we have seen and endured. These eclipses are asking us to truly heal from that, to accept it and to integrate so that we can be ready to step up, to listen to these karmic calls, these soul callings, to rise up to a new way, to offer something. And if you don't know what that is, if you're not feeling that nudge in your life, you may feel it in a different way. You may feel it in a new kind of revival of yourself, or maybe something has taken place in your relationships, in your family, in your work, and elsewhere that has kind of shined a new perspective on how to move forward in a completely different way for your path ahead. So we have quite a powerful month ahead of us, and it will continue with an acceleration of energy as we finish out the last parts of this year. There's some pretty potent alignments that will be occurring kind of mid-month in December, but not to get too far ahead of ourselves. We will be kind of moving through that, but it will provide a lot of lightness. The heaviness that we have been moving through will shift quite dramatically come mid-month. So we do have that to look forward to in the course of the next several weeks. So this particular eclipse that we are moving through presently with the lunar eclipse will also be highlighting the themes that we've been kind of moving through in the fall season around relationships and money. So this eclipse is kind of revisiting that and asking us to integrate those lessons and to also make changes towards those lessons that we have learned through the fall season. So this could be a time of some shifting within those relationships, or some endings, or maybe asking those relationships to evolve or up-level in a new way based on what you need now moving forward with those relationships, or even with your money situation, with abundance, finances. So these two themes are especially getting highlighted with this eclipse. This is also asking us to rise up into our personal power, and that goes hand in hand with that new beginning, the new opportunities, and those soul level purposes. So what is that kind of fire that's arising within you? What is kind of bubbling up from the surface to really be expressed right now? This eclipse season will be setting a stage for the next 6 months of our journey. So these are really shaping the themes for us for 2021 moving forward. So celebration or holiday season is officially underway, and it may feel really kind of weird this year. There's a lot that's very different right now in the holiday season. You may find that the joy and the excitement of the holidays feels very odd, but also kind of clinging to that sense of hope and that light, and keeping that light alive, or that gratitude, or that love and care for those in your life that have kind of stuck with you throughout this entire year. We may feel a little bit deflated with the celebration season just based on the energetic influences at play. However, again, that will kind of lighten up mid-December as well. So as we move through this eclipse period, just use this time to truly reflect upon all that we have gone through. And allow yourself to maybe take some time away to meditate on that, of all that you've done, of all that you've risen up to, of all of the challenges that you've faced, of the strength that you have acquired through this entire year, of the personal power that has arisen through the tests and the initiations, and to really pat yourself on the back for all that you've done, of all that you've really risen up to and faced, and to know that we are heading now into a new year, and it is time to look ahead of us and to really shape a future that will be quite different from what we just moved throughout the course of 2020. So I would like to share with you the channeled message for this week, just to remind you of that strength and the quality of what we are moving through with these eclipses. This is a time to recollect and resurrect, recollecting the pieces of your life that were scattered and scrambled under the deconstruction of an old way, and to resurrect your personal power to lead with light toward a new path. This path may not be free of brambles, but it will feel quite differently under the light of a changing sky and a changing you. Hold your hope high like a beacon or a torch you can carry with you into the new year. It's time to create something new that you never thought was possible. So I leave you with that message for the week. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead, wonderful eclipse and new month. If you need additional support at this time, you can learn more about my services at entelekivisions.com. I invite you to like and subscribe to this channel. It does help to support the channel. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead, and I thank you for listening.